Compassion. What is compassion? It's defined as this. It's a deep awareness of the suffering of another, coupled with the wish to relieve it. Another definition says it's the humane quality of understanding the sufferings of others and wanting to do something about it. I've never really had the chance to go to a lot of foreign countries. Really, Canada and Mexico. Canada, no offense, he's gone, I can say what I want. Rather stay south of that border. Say that, gotta call me there. My parents will do that. Good maple syrup, I guess. But Mexico, I remember this was the first real mission trip I went to Mexico. It was a couple of years ago, and I had the opportunity to go with Jess, and I had the problem of walking around with Josh Earls. And the problem is you start to walk around with Josh, and if anybody knows Josh, his heart is about the size of Texas. The problem is his pocketbook doesn't match that, but he wants it to. So Lauren just has to finally take his money away and say no more because we have to get home. No, you know, but Josh just wants to give money out, and he does, and he does, and he does. And then before you know it, you're standing there beside him, and you're like, well, I want to play too. And so you're starting to do the same thing. Before you know it, neither one of you have money left, and you're crying together, but you're happy. And that's, but all of a sudden you realize just the little things, man. I saw kids just getting little pieces of candy, and they were going nuts over little pieces of candy. Little things that we take for granted, little things that we don't even think about, but absolutely made their day. You know, and it's not always the big things. Like I said, so many times actually it's the little things. And the truth is this. No matter what it is, every one of us need to be doing something. And so many times it's so overwhelming. The idea of doing something like that is absolutely consuming. How in the world can I make a difference in Africa? How in the world can I make a difference in the sex trade and slavery, things that are going on today? How in the world can I make a difference? You know, I got a quick illustration. It's not even really an illustration, but did you know that these can make a huge difference in the life of somebody? Shh. A huge difference. An empty trash can. Did you know that can make a huge difference in somebody's life? You see, I've gotten to the reality we have to start doing something as a group, as a ministry. We have to start doing something. And I was sitting at this conference, and I was standing there, and there's a guy standing there by a trash can. And he's like, this can change people. I'm like, you are insane. 2 days, he's standing there with a trash can. He's like, we can change the world. Like, dude, just put that over your head and save us all. You know? And all of a sudden, I started hearing him, and I started listening to his heart. And he said, you know what I do with these? I said, what, man? Because I'm really dying to know. He said, I started putting these outside of my church. And right around Christmas time, I have people come by, and they'll put something in it that we can take and give to the elderly and people in the nursing home. And I fill a trash can. And then I take it to that nursing home, and I pass it out. Then 1 month, I'll fill that up, and I'll put whatever in it, and I'll take it out and I'll give it to, find blankets and I'll take them out and I'll pass them out to homeless people. And then 1 month I'll fill them up with things that we can take to the pregnancy crisis center. And I started getting a picture, because it's not big, it's not huge, but it makes a difference. And I've realized that I have lived in this bubble my whole adult life of just worrying about myself, worrying what I have or don't have. And you know, the thing is that kills me is that I consider myself to be a somewhat compassionate person outside of some things that you guys probably disagree with. But When it comes to people in need, it's not uncommon for me to go get them food and bring it back to them. It's not uncommon for me to do little things like that. But I realized how many opportunities I missed because I couldn't see the value of an empty trash can. And God began to deal with me about that. So I can tell you right now that for the next 12 months, we're going to try to make this a continual process. And I hope it goes way beyond I hope it goes way beyond me. But every month we're going to dedicate, I'm going to find different organizations, different things around this area that we can fill these things up, and we're going to take and bless an organization every month. I don't care what it is. We're going to make a difference. First time I ever saw Tom's shoes, the first thing in my mind was, those are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life. But I listened to people talk about the story and everything else, and I'm not going to say a whole lot because we're actually going to be dealing with Tom's shoes. We're going to be talking about it in a couple of weeks. And I listened to people that it started to make a difference. One guy said, you know what I do? Once a month I go and I buy 4 or 5 large things of detergent. I said, what do you do with detergent? He said, I go to the poorest part of the city. I put a sign in front of I put a sign in front of a laundromat saying free laundry. And I do people's laundry all day long. He said, I find homeless people and I say, hey, you know what? You come with me, I'm going to wash your clothes for you. I'm going to make a difference. I thought, man, what are we doing as a church? What are we doing to make a difference? I've been here going on 3 years. And I apologize to you as your pastor saying, I'm sorry that I never put you in a position that you can make more of a difference. But I promise you that the Edge Student Ministries is going to make a difference. Not just in Jefferson County, not just in St. Louis, but in this world. We will start making a difference. Over the next 3 weeks, we're going to talk about 3 different organizations that are making a difference. How they can apply to us directly, but more so how we can learn from them. It's time. It's a cause worth believing in. And whether you like it or not, it is the cause of Christ because it's His heart. It's His heart. God, I pray that these words would not fall on deaf ears. But God, I pray that you catch this vision. And I pray that you would bless us through these efforts. Not to be blessed, but that we could bless others. Lord, I pray that week in and week out, that these trash cans would absolutely overflow as we try to reach out and make a difference. God, that it's not about what happens in here, but it's about what we can take out there. God, I pray that you would protect us, that you would give us wisdom, give us favor in the things that we want to do and the things we want to see happen. I thank you and I praise you, God. Don't let this vision fall on deaf ears. Let's make a difference. Real quick, the largest offering we've ever taken in 1 month, outside of special things where we really push something, was right in the neighborhood of $500 for a whole month. Everything that comes in from tonight through November 1st, everything that comes in, here, Snack Shack, Pop Machine, everything that comes in, we're going to make an investment. We're going to sow that into an organization that's working to bring people out of the sex slave trade. Every bit of it. So I'm believing that our largest month will be this month. And I'm believing for $1,000 at least. Youth convention's coming up, I understand that. I want you to go to youth convention. You need to go to youth convention. It is more expensive this year. They're having it at Tantera, water slides, everything